everybody. I will try to add a very thin layer of basic physiology on the very nice talk of my friend. So, we will first start to remind the distribution and roles of water. Stavros Kavras already told you something, but I will add some points. We will talk about osmotic pressure and cell volume regulation. This is one of the key of water homeostasis. We will also talk about water balance and the renal action of AVP in that field. And we will finish by asking the question of the optimal limits of hydration and fluid intake. And you will see that all these things are tightly linked. Well, probably all of you know already that that picture. Roughly, we are made of 60% of water for men, 65% for women. My wife is used to say that the difference is brain. And well, I believe that perhaps the difference is fat, but probably it's more physiological. However, what is more critical is that in children, fluid content, water content is higher, more than 75% in babies. They really contain a high amount of water, especially in the extracellular volume, with a very quick, rapid turnover. And this makes them very prone to dehydration. On the opposite of life, in elderly, water content is decreased down to something like 50–55%. And then all the compartments are decreased. And water turnover is decreased, but the homeostatic capabilities are also decreased. And then these people are also prone to dehydration and to a very bad impact of dehydration. We have seen that a few years ago in France. So what are the roles of water? Two main roles: hydration, elimination. We need water for hydration to fill up our body fluid compartment. We'll see that in the next slide. Elimination, we need some water to eliminate heat. We are producing a lot of heat. Most of the energy we are burning is heat. And we need to remove this heat. And one of the best ways is to sweat, to vaporize water on the surface of our skin. The other point is that clearly we need to excrete some solute substances that are not anymore useful. We have to eliminate all this waste, and the only way is urine. So you need to excrete some solutes in urine, so you need some water to produce urine. Well, regarding hydration, if you talk about water in itself, the main impact of water is intracellular volume regulation. If you add more water to a given amount of electrolytes, you will dilute it, you will decrease plasma osmolality, and then you will have a shift of water from extracellular volume to intracellular volume, and then you regulate cell volume. Now, if you talk about extracellular volume and plasma volume, you are talking about two things: water and salt, sodium. And both regulations are tightly linked. When you reabsorb sodium, you reabsorb it as sodium. It has an osmotic effect. It will raise the osmolality. You will produce more AVP and even be thirsty. You will drink, and you will equilibrate plasma osmolality by inducing a volume. And since sodium is extracellular, you will add some extracellular volume. That's good. Well, the point is to survive in hostile conditions regarding water, we need to adapt to water change. What are these kind of change? It can be dryness, and then we have to fight with dehydration. It can be seawater. If you are exposed to seawater, it's very hypertonic medium. You have to fight against that. It will induce intracellular dehydration. If we are exposed to fresh water, the problem is hypotonicity. It's very hypotonic, most of the time below 100 milliosmol when compared to the plasma that is 280. So we have to adapt both our cell volume regulation and our body water homeostasis.